The people who were enslaved were not slaves, but they were people who were kidnapped and brought somewhere and enslaved. They were people who had a rich and deep and old culture long before the advent of the transatlantic slave trade. I think that we developed mechanisms for healing, for maintaining integrity, for surviving horrific conditions. And these are grounded in traditional African artistic expressions, the music, the dance, the textiles, songs, all of that.
This instrument is Africa's gift to this country. There were no banjos in this country till Africans built them. The African banjo tradition is 8,000 years old.
The Bo Diddley beat, what we would call the sort of original rock and roll beat, is a rhythm that comes out of West Africa and transferred over here in many different variations. Our language is peppered with African vocabulary that we are not taught as African in origin. The jitterbug, a dance from the 1940s. Well, the Wolof have two words, jitu meaning fast, bag meaning dance. Jitu bag becomes jitterbug.
We brought so much energy, knowledge, spirituality, culture to this place, albeit under difficult circumstances. But we were not erased.
Think of it this way. The average American every day drinks some form of cola drink. West Africa. Almost every American has a cup of coffee. Ethiopia, East Africa. Foodways constitutes cooking, ideas about food, cuisine, ingredients, mentalities, preferences. It also inculcates what people are not willing to give up when they migrate or are in exile, all of which give one a sense of what was most important to this first generation was preserving their food they passed down to their children, that got passed down to us, that gave them a taste of home as they were losing the rest of their identity.
The African-American-born enslaved people revered the African-born folks because they had original knowledge, the values, the music, the dance, the stories.
Trickster tales. In the 20th century, that morphs into a classic cartoon of Bugs Bunny. And now that trickster tale is classically West African. And we don't recognize how African Bugs Bunny is.
The Great Spirit, the all-knowing creator, was up in the sky. And he called to Anansi to come because he had a very special mission for him. Come, Anansi, come! I want you to take care of
In Africa, the griot was the storyteller for the whole village. Anansi is a character brought over from West Africa. He's a spider, and he's one of the trickster characters who even under pressure, under slavery, is clever enough to get by. What are you able to get away with and still not let the master know what's happening? You know, what is the code? How are you able to talk to each other so that nobody knows? The Talking Skull is a story from Nigeria. When the audience hears that story, it can hit them on a few different levels at one time because they have to say to themselves, what does talk mean to them? There's actually a lesson, and especially if you take it back to what was going on in slavery. It may be an old story, but there's something true about it today.